What's the dumbest myth people today believe? Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy. Thanks. That Einstein failed his grade school math class. It was the subject of a Ripley's Believe It or Not column in 1935, and Einstein himself refuted the article. In primary school he had been at the top of class, and by 15 he had mastered differential and integral calculus. When I had cancer a few years back and was doing chemotherapy, I had people who constantly questioned that I actually had cancer due to the fact that my hair didn't fall out until I was actually in remission. It's a complete myth that every single person's hair will have the same reaction to chemo. Some people lose hair right away, some don't. Everybody is different. There are dumber ones out there, but the one I, as an estate lawyer, deal with constantly is the idea that there needs to be a reading of the will, where the family all gather and the lawyer reads it aloud to them for the first time. We don't do that, we just mail everyone their own copy if they want it. It's a really stubbornly persistent one because people continue to see scenes of it in movies and TV shows, where it's used for some big dramatic reveal. I've even had irate beneficiaries insist that the administration of the estate can't be official until there's a reading. Way back, like 150 years ago or so, I believe we used to do something like that at times because you couldn't exactly presume literacy on the part of the beneficiaries. But now we feel it's a pretty safe bet that you can either read it or find someone who can. I remember the myth that gum takes 7 years to fully pass through your digestive system. You have to wait 48 hours to report someone missing. Many people still believe hymens are like plastic food seals that cover up the hole and get popped when you have sex for the first time, and if a girl doesn't bleed, she's not a virgin. Halloween candy is commonly laced with drugs or razor blades. Still blows my mind that people think the earth is flat. That magnetic jewelry healing will cure just about anything. A dude named Mesmer the 1780 came up with the idea, and it have been debunked many times, yet it's still a billion-dollar industry. Fun fact, the word mesmerized is related to him. Had a cab driver insisting that the reactor meltdown at Fukushima was a failed Chinese attack on the US. The plan was to superheat the rods so they'd burn into the ground, through the center of the earth, and come out in America and irradiate it. Amazing. That you eat spiders in your sleep. Spider will not knowingly walk into a predator's mouth. They can sense both the heartbeat, heat, and noise from humans. All things that would alert them not to go into our mouth. Anything about MSG. I battle with my health-conscious wife about this often. Edit, too much of anything is bad for you. I still don't understand the demonization of MSG. Lie detectors as a literal thing. There's a reason they aren't admissible as evidence in court in most places. I still believe that if any of my limbs hang off the bed while sleeping, that a monster will grab them. I also believe that the moment I remember this and pull them back on the bed is just in the nick of time before a monster grabs them. You can't prove there isn't a monster under my bed. Had to explain to a grown-ass adult that blood isn't blue inside the body and red once it hits oxygen because blood already carries oxygen. Edna, I didn't expect this to take off. I first commented when the post was brand new and only had 30 comments. I understand that I came off as a snarky asshole about it, but the dude and I were cool after 10 minutes of convincing him that what he was taught was a myth. No hurt feelings, buds. It is believed in Indian culture that keeping your unibrow means good luck. I kept my unibrow for 20 years thinking it is my good luck until I got stage 5 of kidney failure, and I did my eyebrows after that because who gives a fuck about luck anymore? Now my eyebrows look cute AF. That humans only use 10% of their brain. This is false, regardless of how those who proclaim this myth seemingly demonstrate that it is in fact true. My dad had this guy helping him out, think big box store DIY curb ready helper, who told him if you sleep with your hair wet, you will bleed out of your mouth. And he was 110% sure that was fact. We were both just confused and bewildered at this statement. What the hell had this guy witnessed? Black belts have to register their fists as weapons. I can't believe I was dumb enough to fall for that. At some point, a viral video allegedly proved that the beg buttons at crosswalks are just placebos. Some of them are, but most of them really do add a cycle for pedestrians to get a walk signal. You should use them regardless. That there are magic pills that make you lose weight and gain muscle without ever going to a gym. Or that there are snake oils that will take years off of your face and make you look young. There's a sucker born every minute. Lightning never strikes the same place twice. Yes, it does. That's the entire reason for lightning rods on buildings. Tear here to open. Detox drinks. That there are dozens of hot singles in my area just dying to meet me. There are still people who believe that having sex in certain positions or eating certain foods can influence the sex of your unborn child or impact whether you have twins or multiples. So many people think narwhals are mythical. A more serious one, that people who have been hurt or oppressed are morally better. My mom thought that because she had been hurt by her dad, whatever she did to the family was somehow justified. The Hutus were legitimately oppressed by the Tutsis, but to be fair, that comes back to Leopold, the patron saint of Africa. All people are fundamentally similar. Life is fair, and bad things only happen to people who deserve it. That op is reading any of these answers. Not sure if this fits here exactly, but the McDonald's hot coffee lawsuit being a frivolous case filed by a money-hungry customer. That poor lady was a real victim who suffered legitimate injuries who only wanted her medical costs covered. Headlights off at night is a gangbanger initiation rite. So, don't flash your lights at them. The whole alpha-beta male thing. Trickle-down economics. Astrology. It's just a fun nerdy thing, but now it's almost religious beliefs. Oh, I don't want to make more money, because then I'll lose more money to taxes and take home less. You only get taxed on the money that's made above your current bracket. It's literally impossible to make more money and take home less. That you can target fat loss in specific areas of the body by doing certain exercises like doing sit-ups to lose belly fat. That the underdogs are always good, always right. People think bats are blind. They aren't. Religion IMO. That if you touch a baby bird, its mother will abandon it because of the smell. Birds actually have a very crappy sense of smell. Yes, I realize there are exceptions such as vultures that do have a good sense of smell. But in general, smelling a human on their baby won't make them abandon them, as far as I am aware. Australia. Corporations care or even exist for any reason other than to make money. That shaving makes your hair grow back thicker. My 37-year-old partner still believes this, and it does my nut in. Do what you love and never work a day in your life. No one is paying me to play video games and eat pizza. The moon landing was fake. Ignoring that there was 6 moon landings. There is no way Russia or China wouldn't call them out. Russia had launched the Sputnik and had the first human in space. They had the means to track the moon landers. Both China and Russia can now get satellite maps of the moon. They can see the lander on the surface. No way either of them wouldn't miss the chance to humiliate the U.S. Edit to fix spelling error. If you drop a penny off a skyscraper, it will eventually fall fast enough to puncture someone's skull. By that logic, raindrops would hurt like a bitch or straight up kill you. Not to mention hail. Vaccines cause autism. That you can write a comment 36 minutes after the post has been made and believe that it will gain any sort of traction. Being cold is what makes you sick. That Titanic's third class were locked below and not allowed into the boats. Just about any myth on the Titanic topic, especially conspiracy theories, are extremely dumb. That Elon Musk is a self-made billionaire and invented Tesla. That he who smelt it, dealt it. That is the defense of the guilty. That historically, corsets were extremely dangerous. That is false. Tight lacing, which is basically just what's seen in the movies, where they make the corset as tight as they can, was not very common, and only used in the extremely upper class. Most people wore corsets completely safely, lacing down very little, if at all. Women climbed mountains, biked, did sports, and everything, in corsets. That Trump is still president. The Holocaust never happened. That an MLM can actually work, sorry, but you're selling rubbish to people who don't want it. If you are as successful as your Instagram account claims you are, you'd be getting headhunted by top sales firms, not trying to sell dish clothes and vitamin pills at 50 pounds ago. That homeopathy works.